This is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee, and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me today. This is the card I have to share with you. Isn't it lovely? It's my take on that shouldn't be there. It's my take on a little quilt card, and this is a card we actually made in my June online card club, and we had fun making this, so I thought I would share it with you today. So this one uses paper from the Countryside Inn, and this is actually just one sheet of paper that I've cut up so that we can use both sides of the pattern, and really helps to stretch your supplies. It's a great way to stretch your supplies or to use up your scraps, is a card like this. So let's make another. We're going to start off with our stamping and get that out the way, and I'm going to bring in here, if I can get it, a piece of scrap basic white cardstock. And I'll show you the stamp set, and the stamp set is this one, Go To Greetings, and we're going to use Happy Birthday, and this really is a Go To Greetings set. It has everything you could want in a variety of fonts, so it's a very, very versatile, usable stamp set. I'm going to stamp this time in Fresh Freesia. Last time I used Night of Navy. I'm going to just ink up my stamp and get it nice and inky. And then find a spare piece of cardstock, press down, hold, and yeah, lovely. Okay, so close this up before something falls in it. And as always, you know me, I clean up as I go along. I don't want to have any accidents. So just using my simple chamois for that. Move all of that out the way. And then we're going to cut this out quickly using these great new dies, and these are the nested essential dies, and you get 3 different shapes, all of them nested, and we're going to be using this one down here, and I can't remember which one I used before. I think it was this one, or was it the smallest one? Let's have a look and see which one it was. I think it was the smaller one. Let me bring back my original. It's always good to check. Yeah, it was a smaller one, and I'm just going to hold it in place, find an orientation I like. Well, make sure it's positioned equal. It looks good to me, and then I'm just going to hold everything down with a piece of post-it note tape, just like that. And then the next highest one is this one, and I'm going to cut this out of a piece of scrap of Fresh Freesia cardstock, and I'll be back. Okay, so I cut out our sentiment using the dies, and I cut out another piece using Fresh Freesia, and then I stuck one to the other, and I've put dimensionals on the back ready for later. So let's get started on the rest of our card. Our paper before was Countryside Inn. This time I'm using the Delightfully Eclectic paper, and this is it here. So let's get out our trimmer, and we're going to do a little bit of cutting. So here's our trimmer. Now this piece measures 14.35 centimeters by 10 centimeters. So I'm going to cut first at 5 centimeters on the 10 centimeter side, just like that. And then I've got left with strips like this. Now I need to find the center point, and I find the easiest way to do this is just to fold my piece of paper in half, and then I have my center point, and I'm going to cut along that center point just like that. And I'm going to do the same for this other piece here, just fold it in half to find the center point. It's just, to my mind, it's just the easiest way, especially if your cutting is not totally accurate. This way you know you've got the center point, and cut that in half as well. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do. You could do some more fancy cutting if you want, but for now we're just going to do that. Okay, so let's bring back our card base. Our card base here is basic white, and it's a thick basic white. It's a standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. And we're just going to arrange our pieces here. And I'm going to try and make sure I have my patterns sort of lined up. Let's see. That doesn't go. Let's see. if you kept it when you cut it in the patterns, like I should have, you wouldn't have this issue. But obviously I didn't do that because that's way too clever for me. So, not that it really makes much difference. I'm just being pedantic here. Okay, so I did it in the pattern, and so now I'm going to flip. After faffing around with that all, I'm going to flip my patterns. I'm going to have it just like that. Okay, so now we can stick everything down. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow. If it wants to work. There we go. That hasn't liked the jumps in temperature. We jumped about 10 degrees here in one day. I didn't really like that. Not that I liked it much either. I don't mind, I like the hot weather, but I don't like it when it jumps. I like it to be a more gradual rise. And I'm filming this at the beginning of June. Because I film way ahead of my filming schedule. And it has just jumped. But there we go. Also, filming ahead of time means that if I'm not feeling well, which happens unfortunately quite often, then I know I've got videos still to go at because I know I've got things ready on time. So let's put this together. What are you? Do you make YouTube videos? If you do, I'd love to see your channels. And this is as good a time as any to say, if you're enjoying this video, please do consider subscribing and liking the video. I'd love to read your comments as well. What do you think of this card? Which paper design do you prefer? It really helps my videos become more visible on YouTube, not just mine, but any content makers' videos. The more people like it, the more YouTube will show it to people, so it does help a lot. So there we have our pieces stuck down, and then we're just going to stick on top our sentiment here. So let's take all these backings off our sentiment. And I do host an online card club and an in-person card club. My in-person card club is here from my home in North Lincoln in the UK, but I also do an online one. So if you're interested in attending either one of those, just jump onto my website and you'll find all the details there under clubs and classes. I'd love for you to join me and join our happy band of crafters. Okay, so let's get rid of all these backings. There we go, as you can see there. And now finishing touches, I'm going to just use a little rhinestones here, and I'm going to use just a small one. Last time I had some on the paper, but this paper is much busier than the other one, so I think I'm just going to put a little rhinestone here on the dot of the birthday and leave it at that. So there are our two cards, two different designs, two different papers. You can tell me which you prefer. Thank you for watching. As I said, if you enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing. If you want more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., it's all on the blog post on my website, and the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.